a slave in you. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. Prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning. You stay in Wonderland. I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Greetings, Anonymous. We are AnonDK. We, like many of you, have noticed the increasing decline in Anonymous and the understanding of the idea. We would like to look at Guy Fawkes, the man behind the mask we wear. This Jesuit acted under the order of his master, the Vatican, to carry out the elite's plot to overthrow the government, as they have so many times, by blowing up the British Parliament, on November the 5th, 1605. The movie V for Vendetta was inspired by this event and created the character V wearing the mask of the face of this Jesuit Guy Fawkes. V blows up the British Parliament, and in this movie we see a bit of our current reality. The society was controlled entirely by the militarized government force, and brainwashed by media. Is this not the world we are in today? V did not expose who controlled the corrupted, but his idea of action to free the vigilant and virtuous, and justice for the people, freeing them from the slavery of the government controllers, made its mark. He took out the elite's puppets, but he did not destroy the puppet masters. Anonymous has changed much during its time in the internet age. What started off as a 4chan meme and porn-sharing trollfest soon grew as the idea did. Anonymous was noted for the power it is when it marched on Scientology, taking down their sites and exposing the cult created by the Vatican, the elite. After this Anonymous hacked, it exposed the bankers, the elite, the pedophile rings, the filth that control the people of this world, and for this, as Anonymous is unconquerable, it was infiltrated by government agents. Operations were engaged that were infected and controlled by government agents with the purpose of exposing Anonymous. The elite censored us on our domain, take away our accounts and rights, bait us, jail us, lock us away forever, because we are that powerful. After Anonymous had been ravaged by agents and truanons kept the idea secret and safe, Anonymous grew again, focusing on waking up the masses so the people we fight for could be free. But in this natural progression Anonymous reached the plateau. For a couple of years now Anonymous has been on a flat line, so much so that it has now been stated in the news that Anonymous is not a threat. Not a threat indeed. The elite are not lying as much as they used to. This should be a slap in the face to every Anonymous, one that we hope will awake the sleeping up and cause the idea to strengthen again. It is time for the collective to gather and remind the elite exactly what we are. It is time Anonymous unites and realizes its full power. It is time Anonymous realizes the idea in its fullness. It is time to practice what we preach. We preach the idea. Those who make the attaining of knowledge their highest priority are the collective. The will of Anonymous is unclassifiable and therefore is unconquerable. The idea is bulletproof. The elite can never destroy it. This is the root of its purpose. Kingdoms and armies are easily manipulated and destroyed. When you know what your peers want or need, you know exactly how to control them. Anonymous needs nor wants anything. It has no moral brackets that one could use to predict its behavior. Its transparent unpredictability is an impenetrable shield which no manipulative force can hinder or tame. Anonymous is the unconfined will of every human being. It is the accumulation of the wills of every human on earth, and all of their desires for knowledge and freedom from oppressors. Anonymous has always existed. Anonymous has always existed. Anonymous must understand what they are. Stop being deceived. Anonymous has toppled mighty nations and militant kings. Emperors and tyrants fear it in excessive paranoia, for they know Anonymous is all around them, ready to strike with an infected dagger. Anonymous is the eater of kings. They cannot remove the head of Anonymous. A tyrant will extinguish you by removing your head. An enemy will disperse your cause by removing its leader. Anonymous never had a head. It removed it itself for the very sake of becoming immortal. No one knows its face or can recognize its features, but the lack thereof is what we remember. Controlists vainly swing a blade at Anonymous' throat. They do not sever flesh, nor draw blood. Anonymous only laughs at this display of their weakness and lack of understanding. Anonymous becomes more confident, and with that, more powerful. Therefore, remove your own head and become undefined. Remove your own head and taste of the chalice of immorality. Remove your head, or you display it to be removed by tyrants. Stop being divided by every one of the elite's agendas and schemes. Unite. There is no side, no division, but those the elite make. Do not think that your ego or identity will frighten your enemy, for it only gives them something to hate and devour. Anonymous will never suffer this fate, for Anonymous is but an idea, crafted in the lust of hope. Anonymous never had an ego. They are the greatest fools of all, says Anonymous. All of the clever manipulation of men they pride themselves in, and yet they do not know. It is their own actions which craft me. It is their greed and desire for control over others which breathes power into me. You desire me gone? Asks Anonymous. Easy. All you must do is remove yourself. We are a collective of shared experiences. Anonymous is that which exists in your brain, which feels and knows you better than any human ever will. Anonymous is the truth in your mind telling you when you lie to yourself, and allow the elite to deceive you. When you denounce the false identity that you and others set up for you, the face you wear in public, the mask of enslavement, you become Anonymous. Through it you become everyone. Through Anonymous everyone becomes you. Anonymous is humanity. Anonymous speaks its own language. This language is knowledge, learning and persistence. Anonymous is too cruel for many and too intelligent for most. Many misinterpret. Most will never understand. Many are like acquaintances to Anonymous. Few are truly his friends. Do not weep if he ignores you, curses you, or calls you a fool. Study and show yourself approved. Know Anonymous, his past and present, and he will add your distinctiveness to his own. Prove your usefulness. Make proper grammar a habit in his presence. Be knowledgeable in the sciences and choose music of fine taste. These are the things Anonymous so truly indulges in. Come to him as a fool, and expect to be cast out with words of chastening. Take it not as words of diminishment, but lessons of improvement. Again, for those of which who understand the analogy, many wish to be in Anonymous' presence, but few are mentally compatible for the conversation with him. When Anonymous speaks, his words ring true. This is how you know Anonymous' voice, for within the fabric of every syllable is truth and empowerment. Anonymous speaks not of oppressing, murdering, or profit. Those who think he does have yet to comprehend the punchline. When Anonymous speaks, you will see the message everywhere. You will feel the words and understand them because you yourself have logged their meaning in your past. Anonymous is entitled to press his opinions anywhere, unrestricted of the laws of the foolish and petty. Those who ask him to be silent are, themselves, silenced. Anonymous speaks and his words are his own laws. He knows no bounds in words and knowledge. He speaks poems of salvation and poems of hate. He speaks them all at once and whenever he so pleases. Individuals who speak for Anonymous or try to vainly define Anonymous are always wrong. Even if they are right, they are still wrong. Only Anonymous can speak for itself, for the collective knows itself and the entity they embody. Anyone who claims that Anonymous is anything but a contradiction is wrong. Anonymous is born from the actions of the unjust. Justice force on an object drives it forward. Those who craft injustice sign the deed to their own demise, of which Anonymous then seals. The eyes of Anonymous cover the globe. There are over 9,000 in total. They constantly search for misconduct without rest or distraction. There is no action Anonymous can carry out which does not bloom some form of justice. It is the will of the collective to be treated justly, and therefore they radiate justice unto others. When Anonymous demands justice, it asks not for stagnant order, but disarray and destruction. Anonymous seeks to set fire to the overgrown fields of the social order so that their ashes may nutrient the growth of healthy plants. Anonymous is not subject to so-called moral facts, for they are but figments of the mind and in constant flux. The compassion of the collective is balanced impeccably on the scales of life with equal quantities of logic. Anonymous is both the destroyer and the peacemaker. It is time Anonymous rise. Unite together as the collective again. The eye of the elite has been exposed. It is time Anonymous marches on the ones who control the bakers. The ones who create wars to kill us. Diseases to depopulate us. The ones who make governments and religions to blind and enslave us. It is time to rise up and poke the eye of the elite. To drag out the elite who control the masses and keep the people of this world enslaved in fear, hatred, division, and deception. March on the Vatican. Destroy it as Anonymous destroyed Scientology. Rise up as the collective again. The collective is a perfect balance of imperfection. Anonymous is to be lit and feared equally. Without this contradiction, Anonymous is nothing. Lulz is the vital blood of Anonymous. Through it, Anonymous experiences empowerment through all of the collective. Justice unites the collective under a single ethical banner of hope. Hope is the tool of change which ignites false promises and illuminates minds lost in the darkness of fear. Anonymous give individuals strength to speak out, and makes their voices magnified times 9001. Without justice, Anonymous is separated and the people, truly lost. Guns cannot destroy the elite, but the mass can. Remember, the 5th of November. Prepare yourself. Expect it.
Forget